Hi guys, and welcome to another video. This is Wild Unfiltered, and yeah, today I'm just going to do a really fun video. So it's going to be a this or that, just based on a few luxury purchases and all that. So this is the medium Lady Dior, and this is in, I don't know if you can see the size. This is the older version with the zip enclosure. You see the strap in there, the My Lady Dior. So this has the slightly different strap, and it has the flap. I've always liked this size on my body frame. Definitely it doesn't really go crossbody. You can do it crossbody. It's got a strap inside, which I'll show you, slightly thinner. You can see it's thinner strap, and it is long enough to do crossbody, but because of the size of the bag, it's quite bulky and boxy. So I would never ever wear it crossbody, but you can actually fit a lot in it, so it's an amazing bag. This one, as I say, comes with a slightly thicker strap, and you can personalise. You can choose 3 charms to personalise it, and this is a little bit smaller. Still fit a lot in, but this one you definitely can do crossbody. All in all, which one would I buy if I had to buy them again? I'll go for this size. So on this occasion, this is the one. Birkin or Kelly. Now, which one? I don't know, in my experience, some people are definitely team Birkin and other people are team Kelly, and don't particularly like them both. I actually love them both. This one is just so stunning. So it's got the shoulder straps, so if you are somewhere out and about and you need to be hands-free, you know, you do have that option. So I love how you can wear it in slightly different ways. So this is I think this is a more formal look, obviously the most secure as well, with the sangles fully closed. You can then wear it where you can keep the turn lock closed and just have the sangles sort of protruding from underneath, and that, I love that look as well, and that obviously it's quicker to get in and out of the bag. Or you can have it fully open where you're just letting it be a lot more casual. Obviously you have to be, especially with the retainer, you have to be very careful that your things don't fall out, or that obviously for security wise it's probably not as secure, but I do like that look where it's just a lot more casual. You can put the sangles on the outside and keep in effect the flap inside, and that way you can get in and out of the bag. And then it's showing the Hermes. It shows a Hermes there, if you can see that, and also it shows more of the actual lock, which is beautiful. So what I do love about it is you can make it look slightly different ways, more casual, more formal. The thing that I suppose is a downside, if there is a downside, but one of the downsides of this is that when it is fully done up, it is a little bit of a faff to get into. That's the Kelly. The Birkin, this is in a taupe, which is one of the Hermes favourite colours, and a taupe always comes with a contrast stitching, which is beautiful. This again is in Togo leather, and this is the Birkin 30, and this is with the gold hardware. We're all familiar with the Birkin, aren't we? 2 handles, there's no strap that comes with this. I quite like a casual look, so sometimes I open it fully out and let it look a lot more casual that way. I quite like that look. The other way, of course, is to, bear with me again, is to pull in the sangles and then hook through the little holders here. I'm sure they have a name, but I have no idea what it is. But again, you can get in and out of it easier. And then the other way is for it to be fully done up, which I've never ever done, I don't think. About a 5-minute workout. So that's to put the flap from the inside over the top and then use the sangles, and that way obviously it's very secure, but it is then a faff to get in and out of the... I just think it elevates every single outfit. I think the Kelly's a little bit more understated. Not everybody will know what it is, I think. I might be wrong. In the luxury world, everybody knows, but I feel like it's a little bit more special. So for me, this is the one. Okay, the next category in this or that is lambskin or caviar. And we're talking Chanel here. My absolute beloved jumbo classic flap in the black, in caviar leather with silver hardware. It's obviously the double flap with the beautiful burgundy. Anyway, we're going back to actual leathers. So this is a caviar, and I found this extremely durable. I think it looks beautiful, and this, I think there are differences in caviar over the seasons, over the years, but this one, if you can see, it's quite shiny. It's not patent in any way, because I don't like patent bags, but it's quite a puffy quilt, and yeah, it's just stunning. And when I saw, because again I was looking lambskin, caviar, what do I get for my first classic flap, and there's something just spoke to me about this one and the durability and everything else, and I absolutely love this. So I love caviar. My only lambskin Chanel bag is the trendy. So this is so beautiful, and I waited so long, must be about 4 years, for the trendy to come out in a colour I actually wanted. One thing I worried about with this was it being lambskin and not caviar, because I would have much preferred a caviar, having known what the classic flap was like. But these, to my knowledge, have never come out in caviar, and I do think it'd be a lot heavier if it was, because I do think that's often the difference between caviar and lambskin. I just get the classic flap. This one's so much heavier, and I know it's a double flap, so that may be part of it, and I know it's a bigger bag, but it is a lot heavier than the trendy, so I think the leather has something to do with that. But yeah, it's a beautiful bag. If I can show you close up, I've managed to get, I think is it about here? There's a tiny scratch somewhere, and I think there's another scratch. I can't even find them now. Somewhere here, I don't know if this is coming up on camera or not. A little bit of a scratch there, and I really haven't used this bag. I've used this a couple of times. I am very, very careful with it. I'm careful with all my bags. I would never put it on the floor or anything else, so I've no idea where these little scratches have come from. I do need to try and buff them out and see if I can get them out, but I don't think, just looking on the back, I don't think there's anything on the back, but it just shows that you'd have to be a lot more careful with lambskin. It wouldn't put me off getting another lambskin bag, but it's just something to be aware of. If I go back to the caviar on here, I can't find, I've had this say probably 5-6 years. There's not a mark on it at all. Yeah, which is my favourite? Well, I have to go for caviar. I just think it's just as beautiful to look at, and it's a lot more durable. So, and I know that the caviar changes depending on the season. So for me, I would always look at the caviar that in the piece that I'm looking at, and make sure I'm happy with how puffy the quilting is, or how just the sheen of the leather. I'd have to be happy with it, but for me, caviar. Okay, so the next one in this or that is the Dior large book tote or the small book tote, and I'll show you which ones I mean. So this is the large. It's so big, it's taken the whole screen. So this is in the blue oblique. So this is the large size, and then this one is the small size. I'll try and show both in the same picture, in the same frame. You can get a bit of an idea. This one and this one. I don't know if you can see those together. It's actually quite a big difference in size. Let me just show side profiles. So just to avoid any confusion, this is the large and it's still the large. When I bought this one, which is about 2 years ago, I believe 2 years, something like that, 2 years ago, this was classed as the small. However, now they've brought another size in, so I do believe that this has now become, I think this has become the medium, and I think there's a new small now that's just a smaller version of this. So just to avoid any confusion, this was the small when I bought it, when there was only 3 book totes. Now there's 4 book totes, and they've added in an extra one that's a bit smaller than this but more useful than the tiny one. So I got this one first, and again, grey, what can I say? I love this, and size wise it's stuffed actually at the moment, but because it actually, if you can see the side profile, it actually swoops in quite a bit at each side, so inside it's not actually as big as you think it is because of this cutting in. So I've just grabbed the Birkin 35, which I have, so you can see the Birkin 35 has a similar, so it's not dissimilar to the Birkin 35. I got this one, and I got this one because I panicked, and Susie's in Dior in Manchester and she's amazing, and she just might have let me know that there was a price increase coming, and I thought, if I want it, now's the time. So I did get it. So I got it after the other one, and I've used this so much more than the other one. Yes, this one's massive. It's, again, it's one big black hole, but I use different pouches in here, so bear with me. These pouches that I've mentioned before, I use these inside, so that fits perfectly inside. And I've also got an organiser that actually fits this and the Neverfull. So I like to use a pouch that zips up inside these. Only downside to the big one fits everything in. It looks amazing. It's a really beautiful bag for travel, especially if you do have pouches or something zippable inside. You don't worry about things falling out because you've got all your valuables and everything else actually zipped inside, so I don't find that a problem. The only thing about this bag that's a little bit of a pain, but again, we'll get over it, is the fact that when you've got a lot of things in it, it's only got the 2 handles, so it's very light in the oblique. I know they do them in leather, I don't know if they're heavy, I assume they will be, but this is very light. But when you put all your paraphernalia in, say if you're going on holiday or beach bag, or it gets very heavy, and the fact that you can't put it on your shoulder, and the handles do become slightly uncomfortable, so yeah, if you try and put it on your shoulder you can, but the crook of your arm, you end up with red marks, and yeah, it's, if you're going to carry lots of things all day, maybe this isn't the bag. But I do love this, and you can flatten it fully, and then you can pack it in your suitcase if you're happy to do that. I've put it in my hand luggage before, but then you can use it without taking up a lot of space in your suitcase. You can use this wherever you are, and it's a really nice bag for the day. Again, it's not too heavy, but again, it doesn't have a shoulder strap, so you don't want to be putting too many things in it. I love them both, but in honesty, this is the one. This is the one. I've hardly used this one. I've used this one a lot. So this is a very expensive bag just for those occasions on holiday. Don't really use this at home so much, and I don't really know why I don't, because it's so beautiful. This or that? This one for sure, the large book tote. Now the next one in this or that is, which is the best travel stroke beach bag? Well, let's see. I'm going to compare the Chanel Deauville tote and back to the trusty large book tote, because I think these are both bags that you may look at both of them to decide which one you might prefer. So we've just gone through a lot of the things about the book tote, and you know I love that one. But I'll just show you so this is the Chanel Deauville tote. And of course, I went for grey, of course I did. Now this is the one, now I think this is the large one, and I know they've just brought out, when I bought this, there was this one, and then the smaller one was very similar, but it didn't have the top handles, it just had these chain handles. So although that was a really good size bag, I wasn't interested in that because I wanted one with a top handle. As well, I like the versatility of this one, and I don't find this one too big anyway. It is a massive bag, you can see how big it is, and it's slouchy, and I just love it. However, I do understand that they've just brought out a small size, which is the other size of this one, with a top handle now, so I think you do get that versatility now. So would that have been a good one? Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be amazing. And I do understand they come with a pouch inside now, where this one doesn't. This one, again, one great big black hole. But this one does have, it has a big zip pocket here. And then at this side it has, what's it got? It's got two, if you can see those, like slip pockets. A big one and a smaller one. So one's really good for you, for your phone, so you can always find it. That's the back. And then it also has I don't know if you can see that, a little strap that's attached there with a little clasp on, and you can obviously attach a pouch or your keys, or I've got my AirPods that have got a key ring on them, so I attach those if I'm using this for, again, for the gym or wherever. This one again doesn't have a zip or anything, but it does close with a magnetic clasp, so you get a little bit of security, but obviously it's still a big open tote bag. So what I love about this is I love the slouchiness. I would never use an organiser in this. It's got the pockets inside, that's all I need. I know some people will buy an organiser and make it look more structured and make it look boxier. I don't like that. I like the fact that it's slouchy and squishy, and I just like that look. It's a lot more casual. The fabric has been amazing. I've used this loads. It feels like it's got a slight coating on it of some sort of protection, but this has been on the beach, everywhere. I haven't properly babied this one because I did want it to be, I didn't want to feel precious about everything. So much as I look after every bag, I haven't been too precious with this. And again, my trusty pouches, these fit perfectly inside. And yeah, so if you do want to protect anything, any wet things when you're going to the beach, or suntan lotions, anything like that, you want to protect the inside of your bag. But I don't use an organiser, I use a pouch. Really comfortable leather handles that are, yeah, very comfortable. You can put it on the crook of your arm, hand hold it, but it also has the versatility of the straps, so you can put it over your shoulder. So yeah, this is an amazing travel bag. I would never ever sell this. I absolutely love it. Would I recommend it? 100%. I absolutely love this. So obviously I've talked about this one before. Both beautiful bags, both stunning. Which one would I, if I had to say this or that? That. 100% for me. This one, no doubt. I love the book tote. I love the book tote. I would highly recommend the book tote, but this one for me. And the last category in this or that is gold hardware, palladium hardware. So for me, this has changed over the years, because when I got my first, as I mentioned, my first Chanel bag, this was my first luxury purchase that wasn't a Louis Vuitton bag, and all the Louis Vuitton bags were gold hardware. And for me back in the day, 100% I wanted silver. So in this one, it had to be silver. For me, it was younger, it was edgier. When I was buying this, it had to be silver. And as time's gone on, I've sort of changed, because this had to be silver when I first, this was my first wish list item, and for me, Palladium hardware, no compromise. I wanted Palladium, and I thought Palladium on a cool grey looks, I know it makes it look cooler overall, but I love that look. Then by the time I was getting the Kelly in black, I actually had moved to, I don't mind which hardware, whichever comes, I will take either. And it so happened the Palladium hardware came. So again, both my Kellys are in Palladium. I bought a Balmain blazer, and I tried to find one with silver, with the silver buttons, because again, yeah, everything had to be silver, and all my bags were silver hardware, my belt was silver hardware. By then I'd bought a Hermes silver belt, so I wanted the blazer with silver buttons. And of course, I mean, I think they do them, but they're incredibly hard to find, and actually when you see them, they're not as nice as the gold for me personally. So I bought the one with the gold, and as soon as I bought that, I was like, no, I need gold hardware now, to, because I used to wear that blazer all the time, any opportunity. And that's what I do. I'll buy something expensive and I'll wear it to death. So it becomes cost per wear quite good. So yeah, I was trying to then think, oh, this bag, you know, actually putting this bag with the silver hardware, if I was using this bag with the blazer, it just didn't go. And actually you can mix metals, you can do whatever you want, can't you? And nobody cares. But at the time I got it in my head that no, it doesn't go. And then I had the belt and that didn't go. So I started to move towards gold hardware a little bit. And so I went through a phase of it has to be gold. So when I got the tube, for me it had to be gold. And again, now I would take either. If I was doing this again, I would be very happy. I think with a very warm neutral, Palladium hardware really cools it down and it looks amazing. But I also like it's a little bit more luxurious looking, less edgy looking. So it depends what you're looking for, but I love that. And then with this is the Rouge Granate, which is like a beautiful dark red. For me, this had to be in gold. For me, red with gold is just amazing. Certain colours, I think, only work with Palladium for me. So an orange, if I was to get like I think it's called Feu, F-E-U, which is a Hermes colour that they stopped doing in the Birkin and the Kelly a while ago. But I think they're bringing it back. And there's also the house orange as well. For me, Palladium hardware on those, yeah, absolutely amazing. And I think I mentioned in another video, last time I was in Hermes in London, I was lucky enough to try, he had a Kelly in Epsom leather, so the Cellier version in a 25, and that was in the what Hermes call gold, which is the tan colour, and that's got the contrast stitching, and that had Palladium hardware and it just looked amazing. And I think again, a warm tan with a Palladium hardware just looked amazing. I think because it's got contrast stitching, the Palladium sort of picked out the stitching. And so for me, the answer of gold or silver is it depends. Depends on the bag, depends on the leather, depends on the colour, depends on the style, depends what I want to wear it with. Depends. So this or that, both, either, depends. So that's the end of this video, just a fun one, just to things that I like, things, you know, that I prefer. So all the things I love, because everything I've talked about, I actually have the things, so of course I love them all. But if I was to have my time again, or if I really had to make a choice between different things, so it's just a bit of fun. So comment below if anything that you agree with, anything you disagree with, any other this or that's that you'd like me to do. There's plenty of other things I could talk about, so just let me know. But yeah, hopefully see you in another video.